Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome if you're new to the channel, and welcome back if you love me. I love you too. We're here for the new moon in Taurus. These are the if you won't, I will secret codename messages. So for those of you not familiar with secret codename readings, these messages are paid for by individuals via my Etsy shop, and it is their personal readings, okay? Secret code name because they know it's their message and, well, no one else does. But the beauty of it is because they're secret code names, anybody can resonate to the code names. So where they heal, you heal, because we're all connected. And so if you are drawn to one of the secret code names, chances are there is a message in there for you. Okay. The secret code names today are Archangel Sandalphon, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Haniel, and Archangel Michael. And when I started giving out these secret code names, it was before the weekly duality report that I did this weekend for our Divine Rebel and Soul Star members. And the message in a nutshell was all about our spirit team, our guides, guardians, angels, our passed away loved ones that are really putting their heads together to make miracles happen for you guys. And I'm not surprised that Spirit ended up guiding me to our archangels for the secret code names today. So Sandalphon, Ariel, Haniel, and Michael are the Archangel secret code names. And we're going to get into those in just a minute. We're going to be using the Kipper deck today to really get a feel for what it is that the divine is stepping in for you for. The True Black Tarot for insight, and the Spiritual as Fuck deck for guidance. This is a really interesting new moon, and sometimes I talk about them on the secret code names, the different moon events. Sometimes I do separate lives just for the members. This time in the community tab, you will find a breakdown of the different energies going on with this new moon. And I was listening to the Peace Dealer's little spit about it tonight, and he described it as the magic beanstalk new moon. And it kind of is. It kind of is. It's where these miracles take place that change our entire life for the better. You know, where we go from the ground and feeling lack or poverty and finding ourselves all the way up in this elevation of heaven. And what we find there in that energy space, we get to bring back down into our everyday life and thrive instead, right? If you are familiar with the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, it's kind of like that. You know, there are certain things taking place with this new moon that if you align with the energies correctly, if you align in your highest good with them, you can set a precedence for long term, especially because Saturn is in sextile with this new moon. It is the most exact alignment that we have, right? The closest to exact alignment that we have. And Saturn, even though it is known to be more of a malefic, is bringing a positive aspect. And so even if it's hard to choose whatever it is you need to choose, even if the path is difficult, the benefit, the long-term benefit of it is extremely beneficial and can change your life in magical, radically magical ways with the Uranus and Venus in proximity to this new moon. You can essentially completely shift your karma. You can completely delude and unwind and unpack an entire lifetime's worth of bullshit and change your life. This is a magical, magical new moon. On top of it, Pluto is retrograde now. And I believe it is the only planet retrograde. And so there's this final reflection of all of the ways as Pluto starts to edge its way back to 29 degrees Capricorn in the following weeks and months. As it starts to land back into Capricorn, it's a final reflection of the things that we do to try and control power in dynamics because we've detached ourselves or isolated ourselves from our higher mind, right? From our divine perspective, our connection to God, source, creator, whatever you want to call it, right? When we forget that we're divine beings trying to control things to avoid other things more often than not, right? And Sedna, which I've spoken a bit about Sedna over the years. And Sedna was transiting Taurus since 1966. 1966. It's been in Taurus for 78 years. And it just transited into Gemini. It is at 0 degrees Gemini right now. And Sedna in Gemini is really going to, especially when Jupiter lands on it and blows it up, because Jupiter is at the final degrees of Taurus. It's going to ingress into Gemini and cross Sedna, right? Sedna in Gemini is really going to help us collectively look at how our own masculine energy, our mind, our thoughts, what we think about, what we choose about, what we prioritize, how it betrays us. Because Sedna in the mythos was betrayed by her father. She had a I would rather die than get married mindset. She was not ready to pick a suitor. It's kind of like if you think about the myth of Jasmine and Aladdin and how Jasmine was upset because, you know, by a certain age she had to get married and the law and blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like that. And Sedna refused to choose a partner. She turned down everyone and completely embarrassed her father, the family, and her father essentially tied her up, took her out on a canoe, kayak, whatever, and chopped off her limbs and threw her in the ocean to drown. And she became the first siren, the first mermaid. And it's very Piscean, right? It's very Piscean. And so being in Gemini, the sign of duality and reflection, where we face our heart space and our mind space and other people, Sedna in Gemini is, as a feminine body, is going to be looking at the masculine aspects in her outer experience and seeing how they reflect her inner state, her choosability, her mind, her thoughts, her perspective, right? The masculine that is Sedna. And how being so stuck ultimately led to her death, because she's very angry. Like, Sedna holds a grudge against all of man, literally man, not women, but men. She ended up luring sailors and different people to their deaths, right? She would cry at the bottom of the ocean, and these men would hear her cry and want to come to her rescue, and she would drown them. She would drown them once they got down there, you know, and it's how we betray the good energy that our mind can create and drown it with toxic feelings, right? Where we are insistent on blame, insistent on not taking accountability for the self, not looking at the self. Because why was Sedna not attracted to anybody? Why was she an unpleasable person? There were wounds there within the self that she was not willing to face and or address in partnership. She was refusing. And you cannot blame other people for your misery or your downfall forever. At some point, self-accountability is required. It's not even that it's just necessary. It's required to move forward. So as we move forward from this new moon in Taurus, the divine is doing what it does to help you see how you are self-destructive in the refusal to self-acknowledge and to self-correct, right? That you would need to self-correct. So with that, the theme for this new moon is if you won't, I will. And it's the divine stepping in. The divine is saying to you, if you won't, I will. And for those in alignment, this is going to bring forth huge blessings. And for those who refuse to listen to their intuition, refuse to listen to that inner guidance system, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle. If you think about the story of Jack and the Beanstalk that we started with, Jack went to town to buy what they needed to buy to live every day. I think it was like a cow or something, or a goat. Like he went to town to get something for food for the family. But he had this intuition, right? He had this gut feeling talking to this guy about magic beans. And he did it. He knew that his family was going to be pissed because he came back with 3 fucking beans. And he still chose to believe in the magic of life, to hold faith in whatever powers may be, and trust his intuition, which was telling him to get the beans. And that he did, and followed the instruction that he was given, right? Metaphorically, it's no different than following the instruction that the divine is giving you. If you take the steps you're guided to take, magic starts to grow. And when magic starts to grow and you start to hop into alignment with the adventure of the unknown, you find your ability to thrive by the end of it all. You are no longer in a state of struggle. You're in a state of thriving. And everybody who was, pissed at you for listening to your gut will clearly see in hindsight why it was so important for you to just do as you were guided to do. And what this looks like for everybody is going to be very different depending on their charts. But a lot of this has to do with changing the story from one of obstinance and stubbornness and depression and self-loathing and blame to a happily ever after kind of miracle. It's a very magical story that you can write for yourself if you believe that the universe loves you. It's not punishing you. No person or power greater than you is punishing you. If you feel that way, self-accountability would say you're choosing it for yourself. You don't believe that you deserve miracles. You don't believe that you deserve to thrive. You don't believe that you can change. You don't believe that you can grow. You don't believe that you could be better. And so this is really going to separate the impoverished from the miraculous in terms of people and energy. Okay. This new moon. So let's get into the secret code names. We're going to start with Archangel Sandalphon. Archangel Sandalphon is God's soul song. It's God's music. Sandalphon is the twin brother of Metatron. And Metatron is the scribe, you know, but Sandalphon is the musician, and he speaks through song and lyric and poetry. And so you may be getting a lot of divine downloads through music and poetry and the like in order to help move you forward, right? Poetry and song might really be giving you the perspective that you need in order to choose higher. All right. If you want to go deeper into the energy of Archangel Sandalphon, you were guided to this message. This is the secret coding that you resonated to. I suggest you go a little deeper and research him a bit, because he's coming through as your guide and guardian at this time. All right, so let's see. First and foremost, what it is that the divine is stepping in for you in regards to, right? This is the if you won't, I will secret code names. Spirit, what are you stepping in between in regards to? All right, we've got wealthy man, adjudication, and gift. All right. With this energy, if you see the mirror of things, why things happen the way that they do, why karma works the way that it works in alignment with the universal law of vibration, that like attracts like, right? The universal law of attraction. If you see the energy of people and why things manifest, and you choose an alignment with faith, and you're in that high masculine energy, right? A wealth of masculine energy. The divine, per adjudication, is going to gift you for your ability to see. The wealthy man, if you are inside of a court case, literally, if you have something up for review or you're going to court, these are auspicious cards. These are auspicious cards to let you know that something is going to work out in your favor in regards to court or law when you act in alignment, right? When you act in alignment and you listen to your gut and you follow the steps, you trust in faith, even if other people are going to hate you for it, if you do as you're guided and you're involved in some kind of legal action, it's going to work out in your favor. Let's get some more insight into that. Let's get some more insight into that. Especially because Jupiter, which is very much like the gift and the wealthy man, especially in Taurus, is in sesquiquadrate to the South Node in Libra and Lilith. If there's dark feminine energy who refuses to receive the positive intention or the positive alignment that you put out, and they're trying to demonize you when you're not in the wrong, you're going to be successful against that energy. Insight, please, for secret code name Sandalphon. Thank you to everybody who supports these secret code names and drops likes and leaves me comments, by the way. Greatly appreciate you. What insight, please, Spirit? We've got the moon. The Six of Wands. Yeah, that's victory. A 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐻 in reverse. And the Knight of Swords in the reverse. Let's get some more clarities, please. Clarify the moon. Judgment. Heavy water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Maybe even a little Sag, to be honest. What else? Clarify the Six of Wands. We got the King of Swords, and we've got the Fool on a knot. This is the rebirth. Knight of Swords is clarified by the Eight of Wands. Bottom of the deck is the King of Wands. Top of the deck is the Magician. We've got this hand signal multiple times. Look at these cards. The hand signal. 3 times. The Hierophant and traditional Rider-Waite makes that. And the Hierophant is all about belief systems. Really, we've got the Three of Wands under that. And the Eight of Cups. That's definitely moving forward on the journey in some which way, shape, or form. And the Nine of Cups is under that. Big time abundance. If you have a high vision, right, with the King of Wands, if you're in alignment, hey Lala, how are you, beautiful? The King of Wands, if you're in alignment with high vision, if you're visualizing your desire, if you're visualizing your highest good, and it's in alignment with what the divine has in store for your highest good, that you are in sync with the divine and visualizing what is meant for you in the highest. The Magician energy, that's that transit from Jupiter moving from Taurus into Gemini. You're going to have some major Magician energy coming through for you. This moon, really, we've got adjudication and judgment. You're amazing, Lala. You're amazing. The moon and judgment. This judgment card has the wound on the ribs when Christ was on the cross, where they stuck him to make sure that he had passed. And there's a hand holding the crown of thorns behind them. The divine's about to pour out to you. You don't see it. It's hidden. Between the Piscean and Scorpionic energy, you really don't see it. But if you've been unjustly crucified, or if you had lies spread about you, or someone is in court trying to lie about you, they're going to fuck up. Like, the truth is the truth. They can't lie without receipts, you know? If you were unjustly crucified by someone, or are in the process of dealing with someone who is trying to do that to you, you're going to come out victorious with the Six of Wands. The King of Swords, it's about strategy. It's about truth. It's about perspective. It's about figuring out with the divine mirror what the motive is that drives someone to try to, you know, quote unquote, destroy you and your character. Because if they're accusing you of being dishonest, the chances are good that they are a dishonest person. If they're accusing you of having this agenda, that agenda, it's because they probably have an agenda of their own. When you come out of this victory, because this is the victory of the lion over the poacher. You can see the poacher's hat down here. The victory of the lion over the poacher. You're going to have a major victory. And it's going to be public knowledge. The Six of Wands brings a certain air of publicity to it. The fact that it's seen, right? It's seen by other people. It's not a silent victory or a quiet victory or an internal victory. It's a victory that other people see. Anon is a card special to this deck. It's a major arcana that preludes the Fool and precedes the World card. And it's the God energy of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Right? Generation, order, and death, right? You're coming out of a certain Ouroboros cycle and moving into what is essentially the major arcana journey. The Fool leading into the Magician, right? your energy is being reborn. It's almost like you're a whole new person that's not tainted by experience. Because in this story, the good guy actually wins. The good guy actually wins. The Knight of Swords with the Eight of Wands. You might be getting intuitive downloads that someone wants to connect to you and can't. It's almost like they're being blocked from disturbing your peace, because the Knight of Swords in the reverse says things they shouldn't. They say things that they shouldn't. They're sharp with their words. They don't take self-accountability, right? They're more likely to blame. They're more likely to cuss somebody out or whatever. The Knight of Swords is tactless in their communication. And with the Eight of Wands, I think if somebody has something to say to you that's not so nice, you're either going to know it in advance and be able to prevent the communication from happening, which would drive them up a fucking wall. Or you're already going to know how to respond. Like, whatever they have to say, it's not going to affect you in any negative way. Whether they speak whatever they need to speak or not. Because like I said, they're either going to be blocked from it completely, or you're going to have such a high response. If you do as you're guided and you have a high response, even if the high response is brutal honesty, to where they cannot hide from themselves because they can't manipulate you. They can't take your power away. They can't throw you off. You know, it's like someone trying to throw you off and ruin your day, and you just laugh instead. Like, that's hilarious. Like, you thought you had power here. You thought that you were strong enough to ruin my day. Like, that's hilarious. I think not only is something going to go in your favor, any spiritual adversaries that would try and knock you off your high energy are going to either be blocked or fail to do so. Good for you. Good for you. That's some high-ass energy. That's an awesome reading. What's the guidance, please, Spirit, for Archangel Sandalphon? What's the guidance, please, for secret code name Archangel Sandalphon? We've got 2. Your wound is probably not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. If you ask the universe for signs, believe what shows up. The backs of the cards. It says, you'll never be free of the people who harmed you until you take full responsibility for your own healing. No matter what family you were born into, what body you got stuck in, or what weird shit has happened to you along the way. This is your life and no one else's. Be tender with the parts of you that are hurt and the parts of you that are struggling. Take ownership of your whole, beautiful, dented, pieced together self. If you blame someone for who you are, you give them ownership of you. That sucks wet shit, doesn't it? Focus on what you can do now to be your very own badass healer. Bam. This one says, seriously, don't go asking a tarot deck about that lover you're pretty sure you should leave and then pull the leave their ass card and pretend like you don't know what it's saying. That, sweetheart, is a recipe for some cosmic ass kicking. The universe is loving as fuck, but it created the tough love game. If you ask for direction and don't listen, she's gonna rain signs on you till you do. Bonus sign. If you pulled this card asking if you should learn to twerk, you probably should. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a reminder that if you need to ask for a sign, that in and of itself is probably your sign. Because if it was meant for you, you wouldn't need a sign. You would not need a sign if it was meant for you. The universe will give you signs to keep you in alignment and guide you in the right direction. It's not always the direction your mind wants or what your wounds want to experience, right? The repetition of opening the wound. But it is guiding you in the right direction when you get signs. Signs happen naturally. If you have to ask for a sign, it's because you don't have a sign. Think about that. The universe will never fail to give you signs for what is in alignment. Never. Never. So if you have to ask for a sign, it's because you don't have one. The universe is not giving you a sign in that direction in pertaining to whatever it is you're asking about. The universe didn't give you a sign. That's why you're asking. And if you're not getting the sign for it, it's not in alignment. Drop it. Let it go. You don't need tarot to tell you to leave a piece of shit. Someone who's not giving you the time of day that you ain't even getting any signs and synchronicities for. You can try and project certain signs and synchronicities in that direction all you want. But if it doesn't feel like those signs and synchronicities fit to the point that you're asking for a sign, a new sign, it's because it's not meant for you. It's not meant for you. Otherwise, all of the other signs and synchronicities you've been getting, you would have known they were for that person or that situation or that whatever. But if you're getting all these signs and syncs and still feel the need to ask the universe for one more sign to make sure it's this person, it's because your inner GPS, your intuition, did not register all of the other signs that you've been getting to pertain to whatever it is you're asking for a sign for. You didn't get a sign for that. Let it go. Redirect your energy into something that would actually benefit you. Look up the signs and synchronicities and really start to figure out what the meanings of them are asking you to embody, asking you to remember. Like if you're seeing 222, like you're a co-creator with the divine. And when you are in alignment, you will create magic. If you're seeing 444, it's a reminder that your archangels, your guides are protecting you. If you're seeing 777, it's your lucky fucking day. Your lucky life. Your lucky opportunities. The divine is working miracles on your behalf. It is divine intervention and miracle 777. If you're getting songs and all the songs playing on the radio are about toxic relationships and you don't know why, it's because you're thinking about somebody, wondering about somebody, romantic or otherwise, and they're toxic. The energy that is being communicated through song, right, Archangel Sandalphon, is toxicity. So if you're thinking of a certain person and you're like, all right, let me flip on the radio, and all the songs are fucking toxic, that person is probably toxic. Because Sandalphon's your guardian. No different than if you wanted to know somebody's intention, romantic or otherwise, and all of the songs playing are positive. Just live your life. Hey. Right? Gotta keep on grinding, just living my life. You know, like, that's just a song that popped into my head. So, like, you got to figure out what the message is from Spirit for you. Stop asking for signs and just listen to the signs and pay attention to the signs that you're being given, because you've got a major victory coming to you. Your healing is your job. No matter what has transpired in your life, your healing is your responsibility. And if you are ready to move forward in your highest good path, no matter what that looks like or who is or isn't in it, then your highest good life, it's exactly what you're going to get. That's exactly what you're going to get. Secret code name, Archangel Sandalphon. Fuck yeah. All right. We're going to move on to Archangel Ariel. Let's get a timestamp. Archangel Ariel. Archangel Ariel is God's strength. It's the lion's heart of God. It's courage. It's taking pride in your ability to follow your highest path, right? Taking pride in your ability to be a conduit of divine experience. Archangel Ariel gives you strength to choose an alignment with the highest good. If you would like to go deeper into Archangel Ariel because you were guided to the secret code name, I highly recommend doing some research on her. She's a very powerful angel. Call her in. Thank her. All right. So, Spirit, if you won't, I will. What is it that you are stepping in pertains to? Ooh, adjudication again. I just shuffled the hell out of the deck and it flew out. Courthouse. And courtship. All right. With this being the overall, you could literally be needing to go to court for something, to stand before a judge and state your case in regards to something or someone. If you've been getting that ping that you should probably take that step and go to court, then you should. Especially if it's in regards to someone you are not married to. Because there is a marriage card in this deck. We got courtship. This is someone that you may have been dating for a while or whatever, that you got more deeply involved with, and need to go to court. For some of you, it could most definitely be child support. For others, it could be a restraining order. Okay, so take it as it resonates for you and your situation, why you were guided to this. For others of you, the divine, if we're talking about a divine court instead of a real 3D world court, although I am inclined to say 3D court, like 3D world court legal system here, because Taurus, real world stuff. If this is divine court though, hey Kathy, how are you, beautiful? Divine court would say, yes, this partnership is going to work out if you take it to the next level, or no, it's not. I think the divine is looking at you like, are you really sure? Because he's kind of looking at the feminine here, and the feminine is kind of looking away from the masculine here, like he's courting her, but she's not sure. And you can see that statue of Cupid in the background. And she's not sure. She's not sure if this is her person. And the divine is looking at her like, you seriously don't know? Because if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no, right? I think somebody might have someone trying to take it to a next level of commitment, or try to lock you in some way. They're trying to, someone might be trying to lock you in some way, and you're not feeling it. Like they're trying to get you to commit. They're trying to get you to put something on paper. They're trying to make something legal, that you would be legally bound to them. But your heart is not in it. Your heart is not convinced that this is the right path. So if you were drawn to Archangel Ariel, this is your secret code name, I feel like someone is trying to lock you into a projected future with them, and you are not feeling it. Whether it's a romantic interest or a business partnership or a family commitment or whatever. Someone's trying to lock you in. Get something. I keep hearing it, getting something in writing. They're trying to get something in writing. Even if it's a fucking Facebook status, right? They want it written out in a relationship, you know, like they want it in writing. They want something official with the courthouse. They want the name on the dotted line somewhere. But you're not feeling it. You're not feeling it. Let's get some more insight into what this is. Let's get some more insight. Let's get deep into this. Insight, please, into adjudication, courthouse, and courtship. Really, the word court out twice. This could be your second time dealing with someone like this, or a second trip to court over an issue involving the same person. But someone's trying to get you on the ship, because once you're on the ship, you got nowhere to go. Once you sign on the dotted line or make it official or move forward, right? If you think about being on a ship, you're surrounded by freaking ocean. There is nowhere to go. You are stuck on the ship. Unless your happy ass wants to get into a fucking lifeboat and start rowing your little teeny boat against the big, huge ocean, You're stuck on that ship. I feel like someone's trying to lock you in, but you are not guided to move forward with it. They might even be excited about it, be communicating that they're excited about it. They can't wait, but you are hesitant as fuck. Hesitant. Insight, please. Like, and this is where you would need your strength, right? Archangel Ariel, this is where you would need your strength to stay in alignment with your high path and refuse to get on this fucking ship. Yeah, and not. And not. What else? The Ten of Cups in the reverse. The Four of Coin in the reverse. And the Seven of Wands. Clarities, please. I've got the Page of Coin on a knot. The Strength card in the reverse on the Ten of Cups reversed. The Page of Cups on the reversed Four of Coin. And Temperance on the Seven of Wands. We've got the Two of Wands on bottom. And the World card on top. That's 3 globes. 1, 2, 3 globes. The Two of Wands with the World card, being stuck. I think you see all the little busy bees, right? Swarming around this earth here. The earth that is familiar. All the little busy bees are swarming around the earth. But the one is up there on this new world. Three of Coins is under that. The Five of Wands is under that. The Chariot's under that. I think that you know it's not going to be pleasant moving forward from whatever this contract is, but that you want higher energy, whether you pursue the contract still moving into the future, or if you nix it altogether. I think you want the energy to be higher, the vibration of it all to be higher. I think if you're hesitant on something, it's because something is not in the vibration of your highest good vision. So if what you're visualizing is joy, safety, peace, excitement, stability, like if what you're visualizing in your highest good vision, your ideal, is beautiful, and the reality is not perfect, it's not great, it's not bringing joy, it's bringing stress, it's bringing baggage, like a part of you needs to kind of hold solid and be strong and really be honest Like, if you like certain things, then be honest about the things that you like. But what you don't like, be honest about it so that it can be addressed. Because if it's not going to be addressed and no change is going to be made in regards to it, then it's not what you want then. I think you're very well aware of the fact, because the world is Saturn, that you are at a crossroads, and if you move forward with whatever this is, it's going to lock you in, and you don't actually want to be locked in with it. Like, that's real. You don't want to be locked in with it. And not with the Page of Coin. This is about you creating or seizing opportunity. Because you have the power to generate, you have the power to maintain order, you have the power to destroy whatever it is that needs to get out of your way. You want to seize an opportunity to really marry your mind and your heart space, that your heart would communicate to your mind, something's off, something doesn't feel right, I don't know what it is, but I'm not keen on it, please just don't choose it. And the mind says, fine, I won't choose it until you feel right about it. That's alignment. That's alignment. When your heart says, this doesn't feel good, something's off, I don't like it, please don't choose it. And your mind says, all right, fine, I won't choose it. And doesn't argue with your heart space. That's alignment. You instantly feel better when you accept that it's not something you're guided to. When your heart is in pain and it's crying to you, and you're depressed and you're angry and you're frustrated and you want to point the finger at everybody else, like, it's because the mind, your masculine energy, is choosing things consistently that don't feel good. And the heart's like, what are you doing? Everything you're choosing, don't you see? I don't feel good. I feel like shit. I'm stressed out, and that's not alignment. It's not alignment. When you're in alignment, your heart space will instantly feel better. When you're in alignment, your heart space will feel at peace. Yep, that's the right choice. Your heart space will let you know, this feels great. This feels amazing. Let's keep doing that. Let's keep choosing in alignment with that. Let's keep believing in this. Let's keep perceiving that way. Because every time we act in alignment with that, more better feelings happen. Higher feelings happen. That's alignment. I think you are rebirthing yourself as a generator, the divine order of things, and the destroyer of whatever is in your fucking way. With the 10 of Cups reversed and the Strength card reversed, I feel like if something is not fulfilling for you, it's making you feel weak. It's making you feel powerless. It's making you feel like you don't have a say. It's making you feel like your life is not yours, that you are beholden to someone else. And if you don't like that energy, I think you're dropping it. The 4 of Coins in the reverse is letting go. That's listening to your heart space. That's beginner's heart right there with the Page of Cups. The 4 of Coins upright holds on for dear life. Being in the reverse, you are saying fuck it and letting it go. You would rather take your chances on beginner's heart and just choose what feels better. And when you're in that defense of self, right, the 7 of Wands, when you're in defense of yourself and what you really want, that you would not choose to settle for anything, you pop into that Temperance angel energy, and she's holding an egg. That's creation. There's even, it's hard to see it, but there's a yin yang symbol above her head. I don't know if the camera, you could pick that up. I've never noticed it before. There's yin yang above her head, crowning her like a halo. soft like flowers. There's flowers here behind her, and yet sharp like swords on the other side. There's a time to be soft, a time to give, a time to hold compassion, and a time to be sharp and clear and cutting things out the way. I think what you're manifesting is better. I think what you're manifesting is better. Because you may have crucified yourself before. You may have dealt with someone who was trying to lock you in before, and maybe you went willingly before. Because you didn't have the God force within you then like you do now. You were more ignorant to your energy then, but you're not now. You have the right to choose. That's your birthright. And when you choose that alchemy within the self, it gives you wings. It gives you wings. Like you can soar to great heights and get off the ground when you alchemize the self, when you bring the self into balance. What's the guidance, please, Spirit? For secret coding Archangel Ariel. I stopped shuffling and fuck what they think was on top. But your card, it says, vibrate so high that toxic people fall back because they no longer know how to approach you. Vibrate so high that toxic people fall back because they no longer know how to approach you. Know how you can tell you're onto some hardcore personal growth? Your perspective gets bigger and your inner circle gets smaller. It may be that people who want to gossip quit texting when you stop talking shit. If you're busy manifesting your dreams, keeping your side of the street clean, and working on those old gnarly wounds that people want to avoid in themselves, some people are bound to disappear. Be kind to yourself and to others as you outgrow people and places. You're outgrowing people. They're not on the same wavelength of energy anymore. You're doing the inner work. You're keeping your shit together. You know, like you're doing what you need to do. You're busy manifesting your dreams. You're busy maintaining your life and working on your goals and healing shit. You're onto some hardcore personal growth, which means people who are stagnating, people who refuse to elevate higher, low toxicity in any amount, whether they're extremely fucking toxic or just a little bit toxic, it doesn't matter. If they're extremely toxic and you're just a little toxic, chances are you're not going to vibrate into their space. If someone is a little toxic and you are not toxic, they're not going to be able to vibrate into your space. We match the energy of other people, and you can either stay in the lower vibrations with them, whatever grade of low they are, or you can just not vibe with it anymore. You're not feeling it. And you're not feeling it for a reason. And it's because your energy doesn't belong there with their energy. Your energy is different. You don't have lessons with that vibration anymore. You've healed it and have outgrown it. You don't have lessons with that vibration of person anymore. And sometimes when someone watches another person vibe out of their experience, it allows them to look at where they are, and it gives them that choice point that they could either elevate and change, or they can let you go, or they can digress and go backwards if they want. They can go down deeper into the dark energy if they want, but that's them choice. You can't stay stuck because someone else doesn't want to grow. You can't stay stuck and not elevate because someone else is going to choose lower if you choose higher. And you don't want them to choose lower, so you choose lower for yourself. Like, doesn't make much sense, right? Yeah, I think you're vibrating out of the experience of someone. Fuck what they think. You got to do what you need to do. That's why Archangel Ariel is coming forward for you to help you with this. Because it takes a lot of strength, a lot of inner trust and higher trust to elevate out of the experience of certain people, because you don't deserve to stagnate. You don't deserve to suffer. You don't deserve to suffer. You're not there. All right. We're going to move on to Archangel Haniel. Secret code name Archangel Haniel. Let me get a timestamp. All right. Archangel Haniel is God's grace. She is the Archangel of grace and flow. She is a compassionate and merciful angel who reminds you that even your reflection in the dark is beautiful. If you were to picture like a swan on a completely still mirrored lake in the middle of a full moon, and the light of the full moon is casting a reflection, some kind of shadow, some kind of image of the swan in the still water of the dark water of the lake, right? Even if the reflection of you is dark, there's still a lot of beauty in the ability to witness it, because it's only under certain conditions that you can experience that kind of a mirror. And the beauty of it, seeing the beauty of it, Archangel Haniel has a lot to do with gratitude as well. If you can see that, the beauty and the dark reflection, and allow yourself to be in alignment with divine grace, be in alignment with divine flow, knowing that the universe took you there for a reason. Because the reality is, you're the beautiful swan. You are not the dark and shadowy mirrored reflection inside the dark water of the lake. The reality of you is the beautiful swan. Your beautiful energy was put inside circumstances of dark reflection for a reason. And it's probably because you needed to teach someone how to be in beautiful energy, what beautiful, pure energy looks like, what trusting the divine and grace and flow and showing compassion and empathy and mercy for someone who doesn't know their head from their asshole, what it looks like. If someone did not know how to be a good person or did not believe that good people were genuinely real, then you were put inside such a circumstance to show them that you exist and that you were willing to come into this dark reflection just to show them that beautiful energy is real. Pure energy is real. Mercy is real. The universe loves all of us. We don't deserve to be punished. No matter how shitty of a person you are, a narcissist will attract an empath to love them and show them compassion and mercy because they deserve someone empathic. They don't believe it, which is why they abuse the empath. But the universe gives the narcissist an empath because the universe doesn't judge them. It shows them what they're worth. They're worth someone loving. They're worth someone considerate. They're worth someone compassionate. They're worth someone who holds empathy. And you were willing to go into that energy to show them that it's real and that they are deserving. Even if they don't believe you, even if they push it away, it doesn't change the fact that the divine would have allowed them to witness their deservingness of it, or it would have never crossed their path at all. Archangel Haniel is the reminder to hold gratitude for the darkest of reflections, because the reality is not dark. It's beautiful. It's graceful. It's mesmerizing, enchanting even. The divine blesses us all the time. Our refusal to accept the blessing does not negate the fact that we are being blessed all the time. This is what Archangel Haniel is. Okay, for those of you not familiar with Archangel Haniel, I highly recommend going deeper and researching her a bit if you were guided to the secret code name and resonate with her. Yeah, Archangel Haniel is God's grace. All right, Spirit. So what is it? If you won't, I will. What is it that you are taking the lead on for secret code name Archangel Haniel? We've got the wealthy man out in the same position that it came out for Archangel Sandalphon. What else? False person and distant horizons. All right, so if you were guided to Archangel Haniel, especially after what the fuck I just said, you may have a false person around you, someone whose emotions are not genuinely invested like they would express. I think they're they're definitely giving mixed messages. Like their words might be saying one thing, but their actions might be saying another. Like someone could be saying, I love you. I care about you. I want to make this work. I'm doing my best, but their actions don't reflect it. Their actions don't reflect caring. Their actions don't reflect love. Their actions don't reflect being invested. Their actions don't reflect them doing their best. I also just heard the word Jezebel. So either someone is a Jezebel, if you're like someone who is attracted to female energy. I heard Jezebel. So regardless, if you're a man attracted to women or a woman attracted to women or whatever, I heard Jezebel. And or someone is looking at you that way. But you are not that. You're the wealthy man, regardless of gender. You're the high masculine energy. You're not stupid. If someone's lying to you, you know it. You know they're disingenuous. You know they're dishonest. You know they're in it for the wrong reasons. And it all comes down to what might literally be your own abundance, your wealth, if you are well off, or at least stable, financially capable, or a little more financially free than they are. Whether you realize it or not, you're someone who has options. Because this is like, take a number. If you're dealing with false people, there would be false people lined up to be with your energy just because of what you bring to the table. You could get any false person you wanted if you were willing to put out whatever it is that you've got for them. If you've got financial stability, any false person who wants financial stability would no doubt line up to take advantage of you if you would let them. False people all day. You're like, take a fucking number. I think in the future, the universe is going to help you move. This is the anchor being uplifted so that the ship can set sail into the sky. I think you're going to end up moving. Sooner or later, I don't see you staying where you are. It could even be like one of those things, like if you are well off enough, and this isn't going to be a scenario for everybody, but it's like if you have a house with a person and you're in a committed relationship with them and you live together, or there's kids involved, like let's just assume it's real complicated, right? Let's make it real complicated. But you're well off. You might say, you know what, fuck it. Keep the house, stay here. I'll continue paying for the house. You're going to have to figure out everything else. The house is staying in my name. You can keep it. I'm moving. You could stay here as long as you want. I will make sure the house is paid for. Everything else is on you, but I'm out. Like, who does that? You know how many toxic relationships stay together because they live together and they don't know what to do and they don't know where they would go? And one partner is the financially stable one and the other one is the one mooching off the financially stable one. And of course, the financial moocher is not going to leave. They're mooching. But if the financially stable one is stable enough to say, like, you know what, fuck it. I've got a place to go that I can actually afford to maintain this house and continue on my life without being stuck with your ass. Like, you could be moving. Fine, keep the fucking house. You can have it for X amount of time. You have this long to figure out what you're doing. And I'm going to go about my life. I'm going to put the house up for sale and you can stay in it until it sells. I'm leaving. You know, it's like one of those things where someone has and doesn't do without, and someone is mooching off the other or taking advantage of the other in some way. Financially, emotionally, psychologically, whatever. They're mooching something, siphoning off some kind of energetic currency. And ultimately, Spirit is going to have you move. Spirit's going to have you move. If you're in a situation where there's two potential suitors, you better be keen on your discernibility and take the one who is more energetically stable in general, and not be afraid to be with a quote unquote good guy or a good girl, a good woman, instead of going after what might potentially be more chemistry, more lust energy. Like, you might want to actually have that conversation with yourself. Like, don't be fucking foolish. Don't be fucking foolish. If you've got two different options and one is clearly a good partner and the other one has potential, do not be foolish and go for who has potential, because there might be more chemistry. Value your peace, because that ultimately comes down to, what do you prioritize, your wounds or your healing, your peace or your more primal pleasure? Like, have you elevated out of that yet or no? Have you elevated out of that yet or no? Insight, please. It doesn't have to be, you know, in regards to relationships either. It could be two different job offers. You know, take it how it resonates. But you might have multiple different options, and you can't not bring your best self forward or go after the mirror of your best self. Yeah, we've got the Queen of Coin, the Tower, the Five of Swords, and the Two of Swords reversed, the Sun reversed, and the King of Coin reversed. So we have the Queen and the King of Coin. One is definitely a reverse. Two more, please. The Ace of Swords and the Lovers. The Hierophant is on the bottom. And the Strength card is on top. Major Arcana. With the Hierophant and the Strength card, once you understand what your demon is, it works for you. Once you understand what your demon is, it actually serves to protect you. Because whenever that demon shows up, you know to choose against it. If you think about the 7 deadly sins, right? Sloth, gluttony, lust, greed, pride, envy, vanity. If you think about them, if I just named off all fucking 7, that's a miracle. I'll have to watch the replay if I actually named off all 7. But if you think about the 7 deadly sins, if you get excited at opportunities because you think that you can be lazy in it, that's your sin. That's what you're attracted to. You're attracted to the ability to be lazy or fuck off. And if you are going after a person or going after an opportunity because you think you could be lazy and fuck off, it's going to end up going south at some point. Because that's your demon. If it's lust, if your sin is lust, and you can't help but go after the person you have insane chemistry with, someone who you have bomb sex with, even if they're toxic as shit, every time you go after someone for lusty reasons, every time you do, it goes south. It turns to shit every time. Every time. That's your sin. Every time it shows up and you want to dive dick first into something, right? Or just dive into the bed of someone, like, that's your sign. Once you know what your demon is and you can identify it, it serves to protect you because you avoid it at all costs. You do not let your demons in. You do not give your demons power and control. If your demon is greed and you look at an opportunity and think about how you could take advantage of it because it's going to benefit you in this way, it's going to benefit you in that way, and you're going to take advantage of it. If you don't get off that square and start to focus on things that require reciprocity, if you think you could just take from something, it's going to blow back in your face at some point. It's going to blow back in your face at some point, right? You really need to avoid situations and people that trigger off this greedy demon in you and look to something that's more reciprocal. Look to something that's more equal because it'll give you longevity. It'll give you more stability in the long run. Right? Depends on whatever it is that your demon is. This is about you putting together the puzzle pieces like Tetris. If you look at the flow, like the yellow brick road coming out of the Hierophant's crown, it looks like Tetris pieces. This is where you put the pieces together. He's holding one of those wooden honey, I don't know what they're called. Like those little wooden dowels that you use to get honey out of a jar. You've got to stick to your values, your high values. The Hierophant is about high values. It's what is your moral code and compass as a soul? How do you take ownership of putting the pieces together? Because the darkness and the temptation is always out there. The devil card is in every deck in some which way, shape, or form. The devil card's in every deck. So if the devil is always there, how do you use faith and structure, divine order? This is what I'm willing to do, and this is what I am not willing to do. This is what I'm willing to partake and participate in because it's in my highest good, and this is what I'm not. Drawing lines with the self. Drawing lines with the self. We've got the Queen of Coin with the Sun in the reverse. We've got the Ring over here in one hand. And then we've got the Snake with the golden egg and the little birdie over the other. And the Sun in reverse. And she's focusing on the snake and the golden opportunity of an egg and the little birdie, right? The lies, the little voices coming from other people, right? The fucking peanut gallery. She's looking at the temptation. She's got the ring, the commitment in one hand. She's got it. It's there. But yet she's focused on this bullshit and the Sun is in reverse. When you focus on the temptation, your light starts to diminish. Your authenticity starts to diminish because you're giving control, priority over to whatever the demon, the quote unquote demon is. You're giving it control. This is the most important. The greed, right? The envy, the lust, the vanity, the etc., etc. It's more important. It's all encompassing and it's all consuming. So that's what I'm going to focus on to my detriment. I'm going to maintain that at all costs. You give control to the snake. The people in your life that your demons connect to, that your shadows connect to, you give it power. You're giving your demons power. Some people might have more than one. You might have multiple fucking snakes that you need to look out for within yourself. Constantly tempting you in the outer experience and needing to hold your sovereignty. Needing to hold your sovereignty against those forces because the temptation will always show up. And the more you deny the temptation and say, no, this is what I'm doing. I'm staying in high alignment with myself. I'm going to shine in my best life. I'm going to live my best life with high aligned people and high aligned energy and high aligned outcome. I'm going to live my best life. Every time you deny the darkness, your light gets stronger. It is harder and harder and harder for the darkness to even come close to you. The Tower with the King of Coin. The Tower with the King of Coin. The King of Coin in the reverse. This is the false person. That's the false person. Because the Tower here, there's the crown on one side and the bouquet on the other. But the person has dropped them both in order to shatter and claim the light and be inside the eye of the divine. The crown, the control, the power is not important. The bouquet, the love, the promise is not, it's not the purpose. The light is the purpose. Being in the divine's eye is the purpose. The Tower knocks the false King of Pentacles out. Because if this is the Queen of Pentacles that you resonate as, and this is you, and the temptation is the false person, and it dims your light. The false person is not the King of Coin. The King of Coin upright would be the true pair. They're pretending, right? An imposter. They don't put their money where their mouth is. but they probably talk a whole lot. Yeah, the King of Pentacles got to go. And the false person might have a complete reset. Whoever the false person is might end up going through a complete reset when you shoot them down and deny that energy. When you are aware of the fact that they're false. They might go through what feels like a fall from grace. That's fine. That's their fucking journey then. Because the 5 of Swords with the Ace of Swords. There's only one truth. There's only one truth. And everybody else who wants to stay stuck in the lies and tie themselves to you, they want to fight you and make you think that you're crazy, that your truth is not golden. It's almost like they're tied to the handle, right? They're tied to the handle of the sword. These ropes coming from their blades stuck in the ground. Their truth is stuck in the ground. They might have their head in the ground, right? Like I'm getting that imagery of like an ostrich. They get afraid and they put their head in the sand. And they're all tied to you, but you're upright. And they think that you can't get free because they tied themselves to a part of you that is not sharp. They think they've tied themselves to your stupidness. And they don't realize that your sword can light on fucking fire and just burn them ties. Like, you're not stupid. You're not fooled. The 2 of Swords in the reverse sees really fucking clearly the duality of things. These may be past life people who feel like you owe them a debt from a past life, and it's not real. It's not real. The debt's not real. It ended with the lifetime. What debt? You're not tied to anybody. You're not stuck with anybody. The truth sets you free. When you're in alignment with the truth, divine lights like a fucking fire and burns the path clear. When you're in alignment with the truth, divine will burn the path clear. Don't forget I said that. What's the guidance, please? What is the guidance, please? Yeah, where there is a will, there is a way. That's the epitome of that energy. You don't have to know how it's going to work. You don't have to know who's going to come forward to help you. You don't know what's going to happen in alignment to get you to where you're going. But if you don't want to stay stuck with an asshole, a false person, some bitch that is not in alignment with your highest good, if you do not want to stay stuck with them, you can absolutely say, this is my truth and I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not fucking stupid. I'm not falling for your shit. And as soon as you click into that truth and the divine knows you're fucking serious, that you're ready to burn bridges, you are ready to let toxic go, all kinds of doors will open up. I promise you. My journey in and of itself is living proof of that. My journey is living proof of that. I have burned so many bridges being in alignment, and every single time the divine was like, thank you, and just blessed me for it. Be in alignment with truth. Yeah. The top of the deck. Don't involve yourself with whack shit. Don't involve yourself with whack shit. These 2 cards flew back out. You might really need to watch Archangel Sandalphon. I'll have timestamps in the comments in the description after this live is over so that you can flip back and watch Archangel Sandalphon. It was the first secret code name. The same exact 2 guidance cards flew out together. Your wound is probably not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. If you ask the universe for signs, believe what shows up. It says you'll never be free of the people who harmed you until you take full responsibility for your own healing. No matter what family you were born into, what body you got stuck in, or what weird shit has happened to you along the way. This is your life and no one else's. Be tender with the parts of you that are hurt and the parts of you that are struggling. Take ownership of your whole, beautiful, dented, pieced together self. If you blame someone for who you are, you give them ownership of you. And that sucks wet shit, doesn't it? Focus on what you can do now to be your very own badass healer. Bam. Taking ownership of yourself. Your wounds are not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. If you ask the universe for signs, believe what shows up. It says, seriously, don't go asking a tarot deck about that lover you're pretty sure you should leave, and then pull the leave their ass card and pretend like you don't know what it's saying. That, sweetheart, is a recipe for some cosmic ass kicking. The universe is loving as fuck, but it created the tough love game. If you ask for direction and don't listen, she's gonna rain signs on you till you do. Bonus sign, if you pulled this card asking if you should learn to twerk, you totally should. What do you need a sign for? The universe, and we talked about this in Sandalphon, the universe gives you signs and synchronicities all the time for what's in alignment. Signs and synchronicities all the time. Like someone could ask, well, is Grace my person? And if they're literally driving by a street named Grace and a church who's the Church of Grace and this, that, and the other, and the cashier's name at the store is Grace, they probably should reach out to me. They don't need to ask for a sign. They're getting them. And if someone is saying, is Grace my person? It's like, well, if you're not getting any signs and synchronicities and you keep asking for signs and the signs aren't showing up, it's because you're not getting the goddamn sign for a reason. I ain't your person. The universe will give you signs all the time for what is in alignment. And if you have to ask for a sign, it's because you're not getting the sign. You're not getting it. If the universe wanted to give you a sign that something was meant for you, it would have given it to you. Nothing is stopping the universe from giving you the sign of what's in your highest good. You might be getting all kinds of signs, and if it's because it's not in alignment with what you want the sign to be in alignment with, that you're ignoring all of the signs, well, that's a you problem. The divine's not giving you signs. You're not receiving the signs because the signs aren't pointing in the direction you want it to. You want it to point down this toxic path, and the universe is like, no, I'm not giving you signs for that. That's toxic. I'm giving you signs for this over here, and you keep ignoring it. You need to ask for a sign. Then you need to admit that you are not getting a sign for whatever it is that you want. That is not the way. It's not the way. Your healing is your responsibility. You can choose toxic all day, every day if you want. All day, every day if you want. Don't involve yourself with whack shit and not expect whack shit. You involve yourself with fucking whack, well, that's what you're going to get. People could tell you all this lovely stuff, but if their actions don't add up to what they're saying, if they're not putting their money where their mouth is, they're making a whole bunch of, wonderful wordy promises, and they're putting forth a bunch of verbal garbage, but they're not stepping up. It's just like, it's just fucking words. Words keeping you on a stupid hook, making you feel stupider every day. Your demons, that's your job to get their asses in fucking check and make them work for you. The darkness serves the light. Use the awareness of your demons to serve you. It is not about making demons go away forever. Demons don't go away. The dark, like I said, the devil is in every tarot deck in some which way, shape, or form. It doesn't go away. You need to figure out how to use it to your advantage. It's the awareness of it. The ability to say, I know what that is. That's my dark temptation. I'm not choosing it because I know it takes me down a dark road every time I do. Every time I take actions in alignment with that temptation, it takes me down a dark path. Now that I know what my demon is, now that I know what my shadow is, now that I know how it appears and rears its ugly fucking head, I'm never going to choose it. And I will never deal with this bullshit that demon that follows me around brings. Use it to your advantage. When people say, integrate your shadow, that's what it means. It's not saying be a bitch sometimes or be an asshole sometimes. That's not integrating your shadow. Integrating your shadow is the awareness of your shadow. The awareness of what haunts you in your wounds, inside your 12th house, your Neptunian, Piscean energy, what haunts you. And saying, you do not have control and power over me anymore. I will never choose you. Nothing good comes from choosing you. And your demons literally have no power over you anymore. None. None. All right. We're going to get Archangel Michael. Get a timestamp. For secret code name Archangel Michael. Spirit, please. Archangel Michael. How are you assisting this secret code name? What are you doing to intervene on their behalf to keep them in high alignment? What does it involve? What does it involve? Thief. Pathway and journey. Top and bottom of the deck, we've got imprisonment and great fortune. All right. I think that if you have inner child wounds that don't feel good enough, that feel unworthy, like you come from nothing, and because you come from nothing, you don't deserve good things. You can try and take that which is earned from other people who are in deservingness and worthiness energy, but ultimately it's only going to put you in, that imprisoned energy. I feel like if you have inner child wounds, you're losing time. See how the thief, the impoverished young boy, is stealing the gold pocket watch from the well-to-do man? The well-to-do man who is ignoring the temptation of the woman on the side of the road who's soliciting him. He's ignoring temptation. He's ignoring low vibration. And yet the other masculine energy in the card, the young boy, is stealing his time. If you've got wounds and don't feel worthy of better, I feel like you're losing time. You're losing time to impoverished energy. You're losing time to people who have wounds that don't feel deserving of whatever it is that you create. They don't feel deserving of it, and therefore they do not create it. They're taking it from you. This is why Archangel Michael is coming in to protect you. Pathway and journey. You may literally need to pack your bags, and you might need to pack light. That might be literal for some people. For others of you, it's about taking only what you need with you, moving forward. Letting the baggage go, right? Because if you're walking down a dirt road with pathway, you're not lugging around a bunch of suitcases like in here. And that might be the difference between this great fortune and the imprisonment. Because one is free of baggage and in the light, and the other is imprisoned. It's taking their baggage with them. You know what I mean? Something is stealing your time. For some of you, it might be the way you earn money or make money. It might be stealing your time. If you're not making any progress there, or connecting with high energy there, or, building a life with it, then you may need to figure out where you're going. Because either your career is going to change, how you earn money at the very least is going to change. And or if you commute, you might need to move closer and closer proximity to wherever it is that you want to build your life and have your life, and where your high energy is and get out of the impoverished energy and let it go. Because I think you've got two paths ahead of you, and one is beautiful landscape, nature, birds chirping, butterflies, sun through the trees, like gorgeous, right? It's natural. It's your natural path. And the other path, the journey card, it's a train that tracks were laid by other people. And it tells you where to go, where to stop, where to get off, when to keep going. Right? It's a path already laid out for you. One is more natural to you and one is laid out from other people. One path is going to yield great fortune and the other one is going to make you feel like you're trapped with people who nickel and dime and thief off your energy. Because even the imprisonment card has the mouse on it. Mouse symbolism represents a thief. It's a pest energy that gets into your pantry and ruins your nourishment and makes a mess. Makes a mess of your energy. They spread dis-ease, right? I think you have two paths in front of you. Let's get some more insight into this. Oh, it's 11:11 here right now. That is literally the time. What's the insight, please? Yeah, we got the Ten of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. Again, with the fucking mouse. Clarities, please. Four of Cups, Page of Wands, Hierophant. Give me one more, please, Spirit. And the Hanged Man. Bottom of the deck is the Eight of Coins. Top of the deck is the Ten of Cups. Yeah, you want the Ten of Cups, but that's going to take some effort. That's going to take some effort. That's going to take due diligence and some serious work on your part if you want the Ten of Cups. If you want the Ten of Cups. Really, the Crown of Thorns is here with the white linen, the cloth. It's actually giving like major ascension energy, like the ascension of Christ. You got to be able to rise above something. No matter how much people try to diminish you, you really need to get into that energy of coming back stronger than you ever were before, being kind of reborn into a new vibration, into a new alignment. It's going to take work. going to take work. It definitely might involve your work. Got the King of Cups and the Empress under that with the World card. It's giving, the big clamshell is reminding me of that scene where it's in The Little Mermaid, where like they're singing Under the Sea and there's these huge clamshells and things opening and all that jazz. And it's like, and you might want to watch Archangel Ariel. You might want to watch that secret code name if I'm being guided to The Little Mermaid. But it's like, she wanted a whole new world. She did not want to live and feel bound to the ocean. She wanted to walk, you know, up where they run, up where they play all day in the sun, you know, like. She wanted to be a part of that world. And I think if it's like if you grew up in low income or middle income household, you might not fit in with high income people, right? Old money. And so there's a part of you that limits yourself and sticks to what you know, but you can earn more. You can jump classes if you want. You don't have to stay low class. You don't have to stay middle class. You can jump to middle upper class. You can jump to upper class. Why the fuck not? If that's what your high alignment is, to be more lucrative, to have more money, to live in more luxury or have a higher lifestyle, right? If you want to retire at a young age, maybe you don't want to work all the way up until you're 66 or 68 or whatever the fuck it'll be by the time you're old enough to retire, because they keep upping that shit. Maybe you want to retire by the time you're 45. Maybe by the time you're 45, you don't want to fucking work anymore. You want to live your life. You want to travel. You want to adventure. You want to be with your partner and go on a permanent fucking holiday. Why can't you? Why not? Why not? Because you could choose your own path, or you could choose the one that's been laid out before you by people who came before you. It's going to take some effort. But you've got to rise to this occasion. The Ten of Swords with the Four of Cups. Real, I'm getting so many Disney synchronicities. Right, a whole new world is like that Aladdin bit. This, I'm seeing the willow, the weeping willow. It's reminding me of Pocahontas with Grandmother Willow. Painting with all the colors of the wind, like who said that just because nobody before you lived a fairy tale, that your parents didn't truly live the fairy tale life, that maybe your life to this point hasn't been a fairy tale? Who's to say that you can't end on a fairy tale note? Who's to say that your dreams can't come true? Who? Because it better not be you. No matter how many other people have sabotaged themselves, birds that failed to fly, why can't you be the one inside the light of your truth? Why can't you be different? This is the opportunity that Spirit's giving you to receive. The Four of Swords with the Page of Wands. If you really meditate on it, about what it is that you want, and start believing in yourself, truly, that it's possible, the universe will start inspiring you. It'll open like portals of energy. I'm getting this vibration of like portals of energy, like opportunities for you to enter into. The Eight of Cups with the Hierophant. There's something about your belief system that you have to move forward from. And maybe it's that you're small. Maybe it's that you want to stay hidden and you're not meant to. This belief that you're just a person and you're a nobody, but you're not, though. There's something about your vibration that's, I just heard the word, that's crucial to different events unfolding. Like your presence is meant to be somewhere. Because it's who you meet. It's whose path you cross. And it makes big changes, not just for them, but for you as well. The Seven of Swords. If you stay inside this energy thief of a vibration, person or situation, it's like the poison dagger. And you're going to end up the Hanged Man. But this Hanged Man is not hung upside down on a post. They're bleeding out upside down on the ground. They're golden blood, golden energy here is just pouring out from the Hanged Man. They're all bent up, upside down. You've got an insanely awesome vibration. And you don't actually realize. You don't actually realize how powerful you are and how valuable your time is. It's almost like you're thinking too small for yourself. You might want to binge watch on some Disney movies with some popcorn snacks. What's the guidance, please? What's the guidance, please? Archangel Michael, secret code name Archangel Michael. Ooh, the card went flying. The wound is the place where the light enters you. The wound is the place where the light enters you. It says, pick one time in your life you've been hurt and ask how it made you golden. Did it make you more tender-hearted? Did it open you up when you were once closed down? Did that heartbreak lead you to more connection with spirit? Can you get just a little teensy tiny bit grateful for it? Fuck yeah. Look at you. You're like a wounded disco ball inside. It's gratitude, right? It's gratitude. Every time something hurt you, every time something tried to cut you, it just gave more space for the divine's light to enter you. That's a pain into power. That's pain into power. That's what that is. You've got a whole lot of power. More power than you realize. Start looking at wounds like that. They're just holes to make the light enter. The top of the deck. Sometimes crushing it means asking for help. That's the top of the deck. Only fools or suckers think they can do it all on their own. Ask for help, then take the help. Let other people be a part of your success. Don't be stingy about letting people share in whatever kickassery you create. Every real baller has a crew. Also, you don't know everything. That's just a fact. You are not alone. You just have to let yourself ask the aligned people. And I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Archangel Michael's with you. All right. I love y'all. I'm going to get ready to go live for my members. We're doing bay leaf wishes. I'm going to go live special just for them. And I will catch y'all next time. Take care, everyone.